Today, we are diving deep into a huge question in the online business world. Why do so many of us get stuck chasing the next big promise instead of building something that actually lasts? We're going to talk about making the switch from hype to real, solid substance.
Let's get real for a second. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, if I could just find that one big break, that one opportunity, everything would just click. But for some reason, that break never seems to show up.
Well, what if the real problem isn't a lack of opportunity out there, but a lack of clarity right in here? What if it's all about how you see the things that are already right in front of you? That's what we're digging into today. Gaining a kind of clarity that can completely change the game for you.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we're going to pull the curtain back on the bonus hype trap. Then, we'll talk about what real value actually looks like. After that, we'll get into the fun stuff, like using creativity as a superpower and even turning the whole hustle into a game. And finally, it all comes down to one single thing: your decision.
All right, first up, let's talk about something I'm pretty sure we've all seen a million times: the never-ending cycle of bonus hype.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You've seen it. A product that costs maybe $1,000, but it comes with a $600,000 bonus stack. It's designed to overwhelm you, to make you think you're getting the deal of a lifetime. But you have to stop and ask, where did that number even come from?
And this slide just breaks it down perfectly. You've got two paths your brain can take. The emotional path just sees the giant number and goes, wow, what a steal. But the logical path, it takes a step back. It asks the really important question. Okay, hold on. How was this value created? What actual time, real effort, and hard-won knowledge went into this thing? That's when the fog starts to clear.
So if those massive made-up numbers are just smoke and mirrors, then what should we be looking for? We need a totally new definition of value. And honestly, it all boils down to two things that are way more important than money: your time and your clarity.
This right here, this is the heart of it.
See, real value isn't just some number somebody slaps on a sales page. It is the result of the grind. It's all the hours of research, the years of expertise, the painful trial and error, all of that, packaged into something tangible that helps someone else move forward faster and with less pain.
And this is just a fundamental truth of business, you know? There's no such thing as a free lunch. You can't avoid investing in your growth. You're either going to pay with your money or you're going to pay with something way, way more expensive: your time.
So how do we actually calculate this stuff? Well, think about it like this. If an expert can save you weeks of banging your head against the wall in just one single 60-minute conversation, what is that hour actually worth? We're putting it at $100 an hour. But you're not just buying 60 minutes. You're literally buying back weeks of your life.
And this is how that value starts to stack up into something really substantial. A single document, let's say a strategic plan, can be worth almost $3,000. Why? Because it represents dozens of those $100 hours, all condensed into a blueprint that saves you from all that guesswork. That's real value.
But here's the thing. Seeing this kind of value doesn't just happen automatically. It's a skill. It's a mindset you have to develop. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses that lets you see the world differently. Let me show you what I mean with a super simple example.
Okay, check this out. Person A walks into a store, sees a case of water for $4 and thinks, cool, I'm thirsty. That's it. But person B sees the exact same case of water and immediately sees a $36 asset. They know that if they just sell each bottle individually for $1.50, that's a $32 profit. Then they can take that profit and do it all over again and again. It's the same object, but a totally different way of seeing its hidden value.
So now we get how to spot value. But what if we could create value in a way that literally no one else is doing? This is where we go beyond just spreadsheets and documents. This is where we tap into one of the most powerful forms of leverage there is: creativity.
And that brings us to this idea of edutainment. It's so powerful. Instead of just giving people dry, boring lessons, you wrap that valuable education inside something that's actually entertaining. It makes the lesson stick, it forges a way stronger connection, and man, it really helps you stand out. For instance, think about this: a whole music album built from the ground up to be a business tool. Every single track is designed to teach a business concept through its lyrics. It inspires people, it motivates them, and it acts as a totally unique way to attract people to your world. It's not just music, it's a strategic asset for building a culture.
Okay, so we've got real value and we're delivering it in a creative way. That is a massive advantage. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. How do you actually get people to take action on what they're learning day in and day out? Well, you make it fun. You gamify the whole entire hustle.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if instead of dreading your to-do list, you were excited to log in and play a game where every single move you make teaches you a real skill and actually pushes your business forward?
And the whole experience would be built just for you. Right from the start, you choose your avatar, you pick your experience level, and you set your immediate goal, like maybe just getting your very first sale. This isn't some one-size-fits-all thing. It's a journey designed to get you a specific result.
Now here's where it gets really, really cool. The game itself is super simple, like a card game. If you win the hand, awesome, you earn points and coins. But if you lose the hand, it's not just a loss. The game instantly gives you a real-world marketing task, like writing a killer call to action to complete so you can earn your points back. So yeah, winning is great, but losing is where the real learning and skill building happens.
So we've talked about spotting real value, leveraging creativity, and even turning learning into a game. But honestly, none of that matters, not a single bit of it, without the one thing that has to happen first: your decision.
It really all comes down to a crossroads. You can keep getting distracted by the next shiny object with its ridiculous bonus stack. Or you can decide to step into a system that's actually designed to build your skills and your assets for the long haul.
And this, right here, is the biggest takeaway of all. The people who actually win in this game, they're not the ones who are impressed by the hype. They're the ones who develop the skill to see what's real, find the courage to make a clear decision, and then have the discipline to take action on it.
And that's the ultimate shift, isn't it? Because once you can confidently identify real value when you see it, the entire game changes. You stop chasing opportunities because you finally have the tools, the clarity, and the mindset to build your own. Thanks for tuning in.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me, yeah. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash, like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realized purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't an applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feels misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. Let's say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason, I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling, I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more waiting, no more chasing, no more chasing. Internal driver, that's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it look like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated. They the most committed to something deeper than motivation. That's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
I spent $13,600 on a business I didn't even want, at least not the version of it that I ended up getting. Back in 2003, my uncle told me about an opportunity to buy a commercial cleaning franchise. I had some money saved up and decided to take a chance. The investment was $13,600. I put down $6,000 and made payments on the rest. At the time, I thought I was buying freedom. I thought I was buying a business. I thought I was buying my way out of working for someone else. What I actually bought was a mop, a vacuum, and a whole lot of responsibility. Before long, I was cleaning office buildings by myself. Some contracts needed attention once a week. Others needed attention 5 days a week. Some days I'd finish one building and drive straight to another. I wasn't sitting behind a desk giving orders. I was the owner, the manager, the employee, the cleaning crew, the customer service department, everything. At one point, I had around 10 contracts throughout Richmond, Virginia. I eventually hired an employee, but for the most part, it was just me. Day after day, night after night, weekend after weekend. And even though I didn't love the work, I learned something that changed my life. I learned that I could commit. I learned that I could build something from nothing. I learned that when I put my mind to something, I don't quit easily. The business eventually came to an end during the 2008 financial crash. Companies started cutting expenses, cleaning contracts disappeared, and I had to go back into the workforce. For a long time, I looked at that experience as a failure. Today, I see it differently. That business taught me one of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned. Just because you own a business doesn't mean you're free. And just because something makes money doesn't mean it's the right vehicle for your future. That experience is what eventually led me to online business. It led me to affiliate marketing. It led me to building communities. It led me to creating content. It led me to the life I'm building today. The $13,600 wasn't wasted. It was tuition. And looking back, it may have been one of the best investments I ever made.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the serving knowledge on plates. Got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. Today is strong 63, day 3, and we are right at 17 minutes into today's challenge. So let's get started. So I was thinking this morning of what we really need in our lives in order to make our online business even more successful. And seeing as though today is Decision Day Wednesday, usually when you make a decision, that's just the first step. That's the beginning step. That's the beginning stage of you actually deciding that you are going to take an action, that you are actually going to do something that's absolutely necessary and critical in building your online business. Now, I want to help you. I want to help you accomplish your online goal. Now, the way that you can accomplish your online goal is by having some foundational principles laid out for you, some foundational skills laid out for you so that you can take action on. Now, after you make the decision today that this is what you really want to do, right? That you want to get started in your online journey, that you want to specifically focus on affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing, in my opinion, it is a wide a range of things that you can do. It's not just simply selling one type of product or service, whether it's physical or digital. It's a overall, you know, mindset shifting business. It's a mindset shifting industry. It's something that can turn out to be anything you want it to be if you have creativity. So once when you get the foundational skills, right? So once when you get access to this right here that I always tell you guys about, this one magical link right here. Once when you get the foundational skills, it's kind of like, as I often say, when you're building a house, you start off with the foundation. It's just the same in your business. So any structure that you want to make sure is built for longevity has to start off with a strong foundation. And then after that, you can put pretty much anything on top of it. So I want you to start thinking about what is it that you want to actually build. And I want you to get real specific. I want you to get really specific. I don't want you to say, hey, I'm going to join this business opportunity and I'm just going to promote their product or service. I'm going to get into the online marketing industry and I'm going to promote make money from home opportunities. I don't want you to do that. I want you to understand that the skills being taught in those particular businesses, in those particular systems, are the most valuable things that you need to learn, but do not let it confine you to just one particular idea of what success has to look like. It's not a linear thing. You can veer off. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to step outside of that line. See, a lot of us, we've gone through life and we've been taught since we were kids to stay in line when, depending on where you're from, I know they don't do things the same everywhere. But I remember going to school, and once when I would get to school, we used to have to stand outside before they opened up the doors to the school. And they used to make us stand in line. So we stood in line, And one by one, we had to file into the building. If you stepped out of line, that was a problem. It's like, okay, why are you stepping out of line? Get back in line. You get back in line, you fall in place, you go inside. And then it didn't stop there. It was when we had lunch, when we would go to lunch, it was another get in line situation. You got in line, you stood and you waited and you walked that line one person at a time. They would get their tray, they would get their food, and they would go down the assembly line. Don't step out of line because you would lose your place. And if you step out of line, sometimes, the person that's behind you or whatever, you try to get back in front of them, that might be a problem. That might be a problem. Give me flashbacks. I remember one time, this individual, we're friends now, we're both grown-ups, but it was a situation where, as a kid, I was somewhat of a different person. It was things that, I allowed and things that I didn't allow. And I remember a situation was standing in line, in that lunch line, and this individual, he tried to cut in front of me. And doing stuff like that where I'm from is like, you don't let people take an inch, because if they take an inch, they'll think that they could take a mile. So just to say the least, I had to put hands on them. And they stepped over the line, they stepped out of the line, and then they tried to come back into the line, and I had to put hands on them. But when it comes to your online business, you have the ability and you have the absolute right to step out of line. You don't have to go with the natural flow of things. If somebody tells you that there's only one route to success, then you have to question that. You have to understand that that route to success might have worked exactly for them, but it might not work for you. So that's why you need to focus on the things that are most important. You need to understand why there's foundational skills that you need to learn. And these are things that everybody have to adhere to. And you have to be able to recognize what are those rules, so that you know that anywhere you go, anywhere that on this planet, anywhere online that you decide to build, that these universal skills and these basic principles are foundational anywhere you go. Just like going to another country, it doesn't matter if they speak a different language in that country. If you were to build a house in that country, the same foundational principles still stand. You have to build a core foundation first before you could put the house up there. You may not understand the language of the people that's constructing this property, but hey, they are going to build the foundation first, and then they're going to build on top of that. So I want to ask you guys this. If the difference between failure and success for you in your online business was as simple as having one foundational tool that would help you get started, and that would make it so much easier for everything else to flow after it. If you were to have that, your business would actually grow. You would see a major improvement and difference. So if I told you that I had something like that exactly for you, would you be interested in acquiring that one thing? If that's a yes, say yes. I want you to say it out loud. I want you to say it in your mind. And if you're watching live now, I want you to put it in the comment section. I want you to put yes, that you would absolutely want access to that thing that would help make a major positive difference in your business. All right. So we established that. Now, since we're talking about decisions and the fact that it's just the beginning step of your journey, we need to supply you with something that will start your other type of journey, which is your content creation journey. Because we know that without content, which is another foundational, thing that you need, that's the foundation of your business. You need to create content so that people know that you exist, and then whatever product you want to put behind that content, that's up to you. That's all in your hands. But you first need to have this foundation. It's called a hook. Now, the hook is something that's so powerful and magical that it actually affects just about all of the social media platforms. Anything from organic traffic, which is something that you absolutely need, that keyword traffic. You need people to stop and stare. You need people to stop if it's organic. And if you decide to actually get into paid advertisement, you need that hook in order to also make people stop and stare and start to take action. That's the beginning stage. It's kind of like what I said before about having a business, brick and mortar style business. Yes, you might have the best product and service on the inside of that building, but if your sign isn't correct, or in other words, if your hook on the outside of that building doesn't attract people and make them want to stop and stare and decide, hey, do I want to go inside here or do I want to keep walking by? If you don't have that, then you don't have a business. Now, this goes to something that I've been offering for a little while now. And I know I've talked to you guys so much about the Hustler's 10-Minute a Day Challenge doc and about how valuable this document is, and that if you just decide to take action on it on a daily basis, you will see a major improvement in not only your business, but your overall life. And I'm I'm pretty confident in that. If you decide to take action and do what's prescribed in this document, you will see a major positive change. But there's another document that I created, and that's called the Hustleverse, Movie Studio Mindset AI UGC Blueprint. Now, the title itself, it it gives you an indication that hey, it's about AI, it's about UGC, it's a blueprint that helps you with all of that, right? But as usual, I want you to look deeper. I want you to understand that just because something is designed with, let's say, one specific intention, just because you read a title and you get one specific idea as to what this thing does, I want you to see the overall vision. So within this document, I give you so much value. And for a limited time, it's still free. And that's just for a limited time. But the price is about to go up soon. And once when that price goes up, I may make it a $47, blueprint. That's how much that I feel as though is the minimum that I should sell that blueprint for. But the major thing that's within that I want to give you and still give you access to for free is my 30 hooks that will allow you to dominate social media and be able to lay the foundation for your business. Now, the hook, once again, is that beginning stage that attracts your ideal target audience. In every business, every major corporation, every small mom and pop shop, every solopreneur, they need a hook. I want to ask you this. When was the last time that you saw a commercial and they didn't have a strong hook? Any major brand, any minor brand. When was the last time that you watched an advertisement and they didn't have something that pulled you in? Now, a hook, I want you to understand, it can be interpreted as a few different things. If it's a post, it's usually that first line or two in that written post that grabs a person's attention. Or if it's in a video, it's that first 3 seconds or so, 3 to 5 seconds, that grabs a person's attention, that stops the scroll, as they say. Or in that commercial advertisement, it could be just that tagline, that business's tagline. You know, one of the most popular taglines in history just popped into my mind. It's something that is pretty simple, but it should, resonate with you right away. And that's the tagline of Got Milk. 2 simple words. Got Milk. That was used in so many different milk advertisements. And when you saw it and you heard it, that just triggered something in you. That might trigger some childhood memories for you. And it might, you know, subconsciously, for a lot of people, it might make you just want a glass of milk. If you have milk in your refrigerator, you might just want to go get you a glass of milk. If you don't have milk in your refrigerator, it might remind you that you need to go out and buy some milk. But just those 2 words, got milk, is a strong hook. It's something that drew millions and millions of people in. Another one that came to mind right away, it's a 3-word hook. It's just do it. Now, who hasn't heard that hook before? That tagline. Now, you need one of your own. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific type of tagline like that, like a 2-word tagline or a 3-word tagline. For you in your online marketing, seeing as though you're trying to actually speak to a target audience, it should be something a little bit more detailed. It should address a situation and provide a particular hopeful ending. Meaning, it should start out with a situational type of statement. Like, I used to suffer with this, but I found this solution. Something as simple as that. Problem and potential solution, hidden solution that'll get a person to stop. Now, there's so many varieties of ways that you can construct this, and you could put it together and you can apply it to just about anything that you're promoting. But I want to give you 30 of these hooks that you can, interchange with any type of product that you are offering, whether it's a physical or digital product, whether it's a low ticket $7 product, or it could be a high ticket 997, you know, $2,000 product, $5,000 product. It doesn't matter. This is part of the foundation, and you can apply it to anything that you want. So that's actually included in that blueprint, the Hustleverse Movie Studio Mindset AI UGC blueprint. So if you want access to that blueprint for a limited time, it's still available absolutely free. All you have to do is comment UGC and I will send you the link to that document. Now it's packed full of a whole bunch of other stuff in there that's of value. And we're going to touch on each aspect of the document, as we go forward in our lives, right? So that we can give you a clearer picture of what it is that you might be missing. So once when you know what you need, then you'll understand what it is that you're missing, right? And then you'll understand why you need to have access to that particular document. So I hope you guys have gotten a little bit more clarity that helps you make a better decision when it comes to your online marketing business. I want you to comment below. What is it that you think is your biggest challenge and your biggest issue towards building a successful business? And just to get started with that, I'm going to pull up one of my recent Facebook posts. I think, yeah, I want to address it right here live because I asked the question in one of my recent lives, and well, not on one of my recent lives, but in one of my recent posts, and I got pretty good response. So in this post, it says 3 hours ago, but I need to let me refresh this page once again because it was just yesterday, right? Sometimes Facebook, it doesn't refresh. I keep the pages up because I'm constantly working, I'm constantly doing research. So the information often sits there for me to just come back to and review. So let's scroll back to it. Looks like the internet running a little slow. Sometimes it does that. You have a lot of stuff going on. I know I have a lot of tabs up, things like that, but let's see. So it says right here in this particular post, most new affiliate marketers do not have a traffic problem. They have a message problem. Posting the same product link every day gives people no reason to stop, trust you, or come back. A better approach is this. So I put 4 points here. 1, show the problem. 2, demonstrate one useful result. 3, explain who the product is for. And 4, invite the conversation. So this post right here starts off with a hook. Most new affiliate marketers do not have a traffic problem. Makes you think, well, if they don't have a traffic problem, then what type of problem do they have? Well, here it is. They have a message problem. Okay, so we have the hook. So it says here, it asks a question. What is your biggest struggle right now? Traffic, content, choosing an offer, or getting your first sale? So I got a few responses. And instead of me just responding individually to each person here, I decided that, while we're live, why not, address a lot of these questions? So right off top, the first one listed here is from Jacqueline Roy. And I actually responded to her post. So, well, her comment. She said content. And my question to Jacqueline was this. What specifically, when it comes to content, is it what style of content to post or what to talk about in your content? Because those are two different things. See, now we talk about content creation and we talk about the various aspects of it, right? I think in yesterday's live, I talked about the different styles of content. It might have been yesterday's live or it could have been Monday's live. So that's why it's so important for you guys to show up, because a lot of times I've addressed certain things ahead of time, right? But in this particular case, I asked this question, is it the style of content? So meaning, are you struggling with whether or not you should do written content, whether or not it should just be pictures, whether or not it should be video, whether or not you should possibly have you know, the UGC blueprint and learn how to use a AI avatar? Because part of your problem or part of your main issue when it comes to content might be that you don't particularly want to have to get on camera. And that's a whole different type of issue. That's a comfortability type of issue. It could because you don't, maybe your environment, maybe you don't have a quiet place in your home for you to sit and actually go live or create a video. Maybe there's kids running around and they're constantly making noise. So you can't do it in your home. Maybe you need to find another location. Or maybe you're just not comfortable. Maybe it's quiet in your home and there's no distractions, but it's just something else that personally can't bring you to getting on camera. I saw a post the other day where a gentleman, he got on, he created a video and he said that he hadn't been on in a while. And I'm not sure exactly what the situation was. He had some type of accident. Something happened to him and he had a scar on his face. And he said he hesitated so much to go live or create a video again because he he wasn't comfortable with his appearance and whatever the situation was. Now, looking at him, you know, I might have noticed, hey, it might have been a scar on his face, but in my opinion, from my viewpoint, there was nothing wrong with him. There was absolutely nothing wrong with him. His message was clear. It was a good message. And he sounded like someone that had a lot to say that was valuable. And his message is what is the most important part. Now, he might not have seen any other people's videos talking about, you know, uh, with people that have different type of issues, people that have physical issues. I've seen videos with people with all kinds of, visual issues, but they have confidence in themselves and they have confidence in what they're talking about, that they deliver it and they still have an audience that like and love them and that's there to support them because the physical aspect of them do not matter as much as the value that they're providing. So I would ask this person here, is your issue with content, is it a personal issue? Is it because you don't want to go on camera? Or is it the second part? Do you not know what to talk about in your content? Now, that's a completely different problem. Now, not knowing what to talk about in your content is something that I think a vast majority of people have an issue and a struggle with. Most people join a business opportunity and they're given, that walk the line type of training. They get that stay in line, just post this, post a picture, post this, that, and the third. You teach. You're here to share or promote make money from home opportunity. And the person, they say, yeah, okay, that sounds good, but what specifically should I be posting about? And then they see people just posting generic posts and they get into the habit of starting to post generic posts and they get bored with it. They don't know what else type of generic post to actually post about because, particular niche is not something that they, you know, clearly established. Make money from home, yeah, that's a niche, but it's not a deep enough, identifier as to what it is that you can talk about. It gives you the opportunity to talk about 100 different things, but if you're not skilled and you're not trained, and let's say, for example, we're on Facebook, the niche within the make money from home niche could be that you teach people how to build an online business using strictly Facebook. Now you know what it is that you teach a person about. Now you have to identify the different aspects of Facebook, for example, that will help people, build a better business. One post could be about how to get more likes on your post. Another post could be about how do you get more comments on your post. And then it could be about how do you get more people to share your post? How do you write or come up with a strong hook? How do you approach various aspects of your online business? How do you know, what type of questions do you ask a person? You can start asking people different questions. So there's so many different things that you can create content around. Once when you know what your specific niche is sometimes it can become endless. But even though you might be focused on something, you might say, hey, I'm focused on Facebook. Then you might say, I want to focus on Instagram also. But once when you have the foundational skill set, knowing that you can apply this foundation to just about anything, then you know the formula. Hey, Instagram, for example, people like on there, people comment on there, people share on there. So now your next couple of reels is how do you get more likes on Instagram? How do you get more comments on Instagram? How do you get more people to share your content on Instagram? Maybe your specific niche is overall how to build a better business organically using social media, no matter what platform. And you just go from platform to platform and you implement, you learn, you do what's necessary, you get the results, and then you come back and report it. And you use the same foundation to build and to promote each different platform. So your content issue could be a variety of things. That's why it's good to be specific. If you don't know what to talk about, then you might end up not wanting to talk about anything at all. And you might just say, I'm just going to post something generic, just like everybody else, and you're going to get the same response, just like everybody else. The people that would really be attracted to you for you and for your specific, you know, value that you can bring to them, they might just bypass you because your post looks just the same as everybody else's post. And they're like, hey, you're no different. So as we go through, there's a couple of posts here. And I appreciate Adam right here. It says spot on. Traffic gets attention, but the right message builds trust, and trust is what turns attention into action. Absolutely. And let's see, I don't want to butcher your name. Muthoni. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Says getting sales. So I responded back to that particular comment. And so I wrote, one of the biggest secrets to sales I've found is to present a person with the opportunity to buy something they want to buy, not something you think they need. First, ask yourself, what am I selling? So it goes back to somewhat the issue with the content question or the content answer. If you don't know what it is that you're selling, then you won't be able to target the right audience to actually sell to. And the word selling or sales, getting sales, meaning that a lot of people they don't want to even sell. They don't want to consider themselves to be salespeople. They don't want to be sold anything by anyone. That's been a long-standing thing for decades. People say, hey, they hate when people try to sell them something. And you, even though you're trying to sell something to somebody, you might actually dislike salespeople yourself. But you need to think all of the things that you've purchased in your life. What have those things been? Did you need them? Did you just want them? And were they actually sold to you? or was it a conscious decision? Was it a strong hook? See, getting sales, the difference between no sales and getting a sale might be simply as, you know, the issue could be your hook. What are you hooking people with? Maybe there is traffic going by, but they're just not stopping because you haven't attracted them with something that they actually want to buy. You haven't provided a hook that speaks directly to that person. That could be the problem. And that goes into what Catherine right here says, getting the first sale. So I asked the same question basically to both individuals. And this goes for a large amount of people. They have this issue. I want to ask you, what is it that you are selling? Are you selling a make money from home opportunity? Well, what is that? What exactly is that? I've never heard of anyone who wanted to just purchase a make money from home opportunity. Where I'm from, you know, people did all kinds of stuff to make money. But first and foremost, they had a clear understanding of what they were buying, whether, legal or illegal. Let's be real. Let's be real and honest. Where I'm from, if you wanted to make money, you talk to certain people and they had certain products or services that you can sell, they tell you, hey, you can make, I can show you how to make money. This is the product that I'm selling. Do you want to get down with this or no? It was never a generic answer like, hey, you want to make some money? I can show you how to make some money. And a person just went with it. It's always been a question like, well, what you talking about? Yeah, I want to make money, but what specifically are you talking about? What are we doing? Because we could do it any kind of way. There's 100 different type of ways, but what are you specifically talking about? Are you actually providing a solution or selling a product that a person wants? See, just like with the content, once again, if you're saying, hey, I can teach you how to get more likes on your social media. I can teach you how to get more comments and engagement. And the end result of these more likes and more comments will be that you have a better chance of actually getting a sale in your particular business than maybe a person with the business would be interested in that. Maybe that's a solution that they would want to buy because they're trying to build their business. They've been posting on social media. They're not getting any likes. They're not getting any comments. Nobody's sharing their stuff, but they know that they have a great product, but it's just not moving. But now you have a solution for them that they want to buy. They want to solve this particular problem. They want to solve the problem of just getting some people to like my content. Because they know that if people like their content, then that will lead them closer to getting a sale. See, now telling a person that I can help you make money from home, that's yeah, that's that's a little stretch. Because nobody can guarantee you that you're going to make money from home. Nobody can guarantee you that. So that's why I never tell somebody, hey, I can, make any income claims or anything like that. No, that's not something that I can sell to somebody. Now, have I made money online before? Yes. Does my business make money online? Yes. But will yours make money online? Nah, I don't know. That's all dependent on your individual skills and your ability to take action. But what I do know that I can give a better guarantee on is that I know of a special way for fact, and you can see it represented here. I know of a way that you can, if you're currently not getting any likes on your social media, I know of a guaranteed way that you can get more likes. Would you like to know how to get that? Would you like to be able to get more likes? I can confident I can confidently tell you how to do that and give you access to something that will help you do that. Would you like to get more comments on your social media? Can I help you with that? Yes. Now, what you do with these likes and these comments, after that, it's all on you. Do you use this new solution to help you build a more profitable business? That's up to you. So, getting sales, first identify what is it that you're selling? What is it that your product does? Yes, online training. It could teach you how to build a profitable business. It could teach you how to sell. It can teach you 100 different things. But maybe the hook that hooked you into joining that particular business, maybe that's not the same hook that would get your target audience to join and purchase that particular product. Maybe you need to find out, hey, what else is it to this opportunity? Yes, the owner or the person that shared with me the business told me about this aspect of it, that, hey, you know, I learned how to optimize my social media so that, I can attract more people. But once when you start learning the business and all of the different things that it provides, you might also notice that, hey, this business has a funnel builder, a website builder. And this right here would allow a person to create an unlimited amount of businesses, storefronts, without having to purchase a traditional brick and mortar physical location. Maybe a person's boundary is that they thought that it would take $1 million investment to build a physical location in the real world so that they can put their products and services in the store, and that they would have to hire a big staff. And they're just like, man, I don't have good credit. I can't get a bank loan to do this stuff. Man, I'll never be able to start my business. But what if your solution was as simple as this? Never have to get a bank loan again. And you focus on that when it comes to building your business. Never have to get a bank loan and worry about having to pay back a high interest again. Never have to worry about, you know, paying for paying a monthly, you know, rental fee for your brick and mortar business. Avoid paying thousands of dollars a month in fees from your rental of your physical property to your electricity to staff. Avoid having to pay those fees completely with this simple solution that allows you to create the same type of business with less stress. Okay, now you're speaking my language. You have something that's going to help me avoid having to worry about having good credit. Don't have good credit, so I can't get a loan. Now I don't have to get a loan. I don't have to spend a lot of money, and I don't have to get a physical location that I have to go to every day. I don't have to hire a staff. What is this solution that you have to offer me? It could be as simple as a website builder. Now, websites or funnels are the new brick and mortar foundation. Instead of a physical building, people have their website. That's all they need. And they can make more money from a website than they do from a physical location. And maybe that could be the thing that you're actually selling. Or, you know, they might already have a website and you're like, hey, they're getting a lot of traffic. Maybe they're getting so much traffic that they can't even respond to everybody. But what if your solution was, hey, within our particular system, within our website builder itself, it has a way for you to automatically post and be able to respond to all of your social media platforms from one place so that you don't have to go from one platform to the other. You can do everything from here. You can actually respond to your customers from one location. That might be the solution that that person needs, just to have something simplify their process, because time is money. Imagine having to respond to 100 messages in a day, and you have a physical business, or you have a business that requires you to do, you know, more of the business aspect. And now you're taking hours to respond back to, all of the people that, you're trying to build that know, like, and trust with. You want to be there for them. So you have to do it. You have to respond. You have to build that rapport with people, because if you don't, then hey, the next time you post or share something, they might not even like it or comment, because they know that, hey, if I comment and say getting sales and they never get a response, then the next post I do asking the question, why would that same person even comment again when they know the first time you'd never answered? So maybe the solution that that person needs is a way to automatically respond back to their potential customer. And that could lead them to building more rapport and ended up getting more sales. So what is the product that you're actually selling? What is the solution that you're providing? Is it something that that person actually wants to buy? You might have the solution, but because you didn't have the proper hook and you didn't know exactly what you were selling, you didn't give the person, as it says here, the opportunity to buy something they want to buy. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. If you want to go deeper and learn more about affiliate marketing, online marketing, how to build a better, more profitable, more fun and creative business, then I want you to comment hustle so that you can get access to the same foundational tools that I have access to, and so that you can learn how to position yourself in a way that you can eliminate some of these problems. Once when you start learning and implementing and seeing what is actually necessary to get things going, then it starts to become more like muscle memory. You start putting in the actions on a daily basis. Once when you lock in one action, one muscle memory thing, it just becomes, you know, second nature. Then you can start taking on more skills. Then you can start adding more solutions so that you can find people that previously had the problem that you had. And the more problems that you address for yourself, that's the fun part. Find a problem. What is your biggest problem? Then work at finding a solution to it. Once when it works for you, then you say, hey, I know it'll work for somebody else because it's worked for me. Now you have a problem that you can actually solve, and that is valuable to your target audience. So once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. Comment hustle if you want to get access to, you know, the exclusive information to allow you to build a better business. And depending on what platform you're watching from, you know, you can get access simply by clicking the link in the description so that you can get access to the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge document. And this what I consider to be the second line in the document, this right here gives you access to the foundational skills and system that I use on a daily basis to help me build a profitable business. It's all here. And also, if you would like to get access to my 30 hooks, those profitable hooks that will help you, lay the foundation, be able to get people to stop scrolling so that they will actually take action and start to engage and start learning about what you have to offer so that you can build a more profitable business, comment UGC. It'll have those 30 hooks in there along with even more wealth of knowledge that will help you solve some of your most important problems. So with that, once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We're going to close out like we always do. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged and they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I write, I'm freeing the ones with the pain they hide. 10 minutes ain't much, but it changed my name. Turned struggle into strength.